Thank you for being with us today. So this is our second event in this networking event series, Jumpstart Your Career in Estonia. And today we are focusing on tech and engineering in Pärnu. So this event has a twofold purpose. We zoom in on the sector or on the profession of engineering and technology. And we focus also on a very specific regional context in Estonia, which is the city of Pärnu, known as the summer capital in the country, but which also has an important role in the local industry and has a up and coming, let's say, entrepreneurial ecosystem. And this project is funded by the European Union through the AMIF fund, as well as the Ministry of the Interior. And this event is brought to you by the Institute of Baltic Studies. So my name is Mart Veliste. I'm an analyst at the Institute, and I will be moderating this discussion today. And today's event is co-hosted or co-organized by Enterprise Estonia, who has been a great help in setting up all the speakers and who will also be giving presentations today. And so rules of the game. For all our student participants, please use the chat function for your questions, but we do really encourage you to ask all the questions you have, because it's not every day that you have the opportunity to ask from the heads of the companies or their human resource managers the questions that most interest you. All participants are also muted and videos are turned off. This is for pragmatic reasons, so that we would stay on time and everything would function. And also I would like to ask our speakers that whenever you are not presenting, please make sure that your microphone is switched off. And this event is recorded, but I fully recommend all of you to stay with us until the end, because once again, this way you get the information that you most need. And there are a few nice surprises involved in today's presentation as well, which won't come across in the recording. And today, so you will learn about three main things. We are talking about the business ecosystem in Pärnu. We are introducing 3 companies based in Pärnu that work in the electronics sector. And then in the very end, we will introduce an exciting scholarship opportunity for students to be able to intern and work in these companies in Pärnu. And today we have 4 speakers. And I would just like to bring them on camera with me for 1 second. So we have Sulev Alajõe from Enterprise Estonia, who has been helping us to organize this event and who covers the West Estonia region. Then we have Daniela Kond from Scanfil OÜ. She is a human resources manager at this company. Thank you for being with us, Daniela. Then Ingvar Kuusk, the CEO of Oshino Electronics Estonia. As well, you're welcome to turn on your camera and say hello. And then our fourth speaker, sorry, is Janne Eljas, also a human resource manager, but from the company Lasertool. So all these 4 speakers you will see soon enough and hear about their companies. But before I give the word to Sulev, let's do a quick poll. So if you please, Helena, let's poll our participants to see how much they know about Pärnu. So you should be able to see a poll on your screen. We have 4 options for you to answer. So what is your connection with the city of Pärnu? Either is this the first time you hear about the city of Pärnu? Maybe you've traveled to Pärnu once. Maybe you've been to Pärnu many times. Or like the 4th one in the hierarchy is that you already know what Pärnu is, and now you really want to, go and work and intern in Pärnu. So I'll give you just a few seconds to vote. I see that most people have voted. Yep, thank you very much for participating. So, and now you should be able to see the results. So on a positive note, it seems that the participants are eager to intern or work in Pärnu, but we also have a few participants who haven't heard of the city of Pärnu before. So this is a great opportunity to now pass the word to Sulev to give the presentation about the Pärnu's business context. So go ahead, Sulev. You can now share your screen.
So it was, I was very pleased of seeing the results of the poll, that you already are interested about the opportunities in industrial sector in Pärnu, which is the fourth biggest city of Estonia. And of course, the main center for western part of Estonia. After the administrational reform in 2017, Pärnu became largest municipality in Estonia by territory, of course. And these 858 square kilometers also mark Pärnu as one of the largest cities in the world. From west to east, the distance of the formal administrative borders are around 100 kilometers. So the population is just a bit over 50,000. According to the economic figures, Pärnu always has been lacking down compared to Tallinn. And then this is on the other side a nice challenge to catch up. So Pärnu makes around 4% of the whole economy of Estonia. You see, it's for GDP export industry. Although the employment is above 5%. As you see that from number of exporting companies, this percentage is lower than 4. That marks Pärnu having bigger companies, not as the rest of West Estonia, where micro companies are in the biggest majority. For this region in Northern Europe, many Scandinavians call our city also as Nordic capital of spas, because 1/3 of all Estonian spa hotels are located in Pärnu. And therefore, we always have been on the second place after Tallinn by hosting foreign tourists. Coming closer to different industry sectors, when we compare the share of that particular sector to the whole economy, then we see that key sectors differentiating us from what the average in Estonia totally is are metal processing and textile. But you can also see that for Pärnu, the importance lies in sectors of timber, building, of course, tourism and electronics. Now you see 4 biggest companies. Scanfil and Lasertool will introduce themselves later during this session. Just few words. The biggest is Swedish capital company Vendre, working in bedding industry, producing quilts and pillows. And Ruukki Products is mainly in roof products production. So everything related to producing roofs from metal components. And you see here down logos of our main foreign investment-based companies, very important employers for city of Pärnu. Pärnu is the only place in Estonia besides Tallinn where you can link all 4 transportation means. So starting from port, we have 12 months operating port. It is a main export port for southern and western Estonian timber and peat. Our airport is now under renovation. It will be state-of-the-art regional airport by beginning of next year. There are ongoing negotiations to start flights from Helsinki and Stockholm. And as we hope that the normal situation in traveling of people and especially tourists will restore, then definitely Pärnu will be working in order to get more regular flights coming to Pärnu. It is very close to the seaport and also industrial park, so a big logistics center can be formed. Rail Baltic should be commissioned in 2026. You probably all have heard about these major three Baltic countries joining infrastructure project. Pärnu being the only stop besides Tallinn, which will have its passenger and cargo international terminals. Pärnu is attracting production companies by developing industrial premises. So you see on the map our biggest area inside the city area, very attractive initial land pricing has already brought some companies into it, but there are still free places, and as the city has enlarged its territory, then we have a lot of capacity to welcome next investors. There is quite good office supply compared to the price levels of our capital or even Tartu. The ecosystem for residents is very good, professional theater, concert halls, yacht club, tennis halls, stadiums, and Pärnu is the closest city in Estonia to the Baltic biggest city of Riga. One of our pearls is European high-level new golf course, just 7 kilometers south of Pärnu, that will be hosting senior European Championship next year, and in 2023 Professionals Championship. So this is a short introduction on behalf of Estonian Investment Agency working for West Estonia. Thank you.
Thank you, Sulev. And maybe just one question from me. If you would conclude your presentation with, let's say, one sentence or one hit line, what is the biggest advantage that Pärnu has ahead of Tallinn, for example, as a working destination for our audience?
Young people very much like Pärnu for its very cozy atmosphere. We have much better price level also for when students or younger generation is looking for a new residential area where to settle down. So you can reach all the main sites and do your shopping without any necessity of using transport. Besides those good accessible conditions I already explained.
Okay, thank you, Sulev. And indeed, somebody who often also goes to Pärnu as a tourist or a sightseer, for those people who today indicated that they've never been to Pärnu, at least I hope one thing you will do after today is that you will visit Pärnu during your stay in Estonia. But thank you, Sulev, and I would like to introduce our next speaker on the screen. So Daniela, could you turn on your camera and microphone?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Let's try the screen sharing as well.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, hi, greetings from Scanfil. My name is Daniela Kond, and I'm representing an EMS company, Scanfil. Scanfil is a global contract manufacturer and system supplier, part of the Finnish company Scanfil EMS. Scanfil EMS is stock listed in Helsinki Stock and has been providing electronics manufacturing service over 40 years. Scanfil has factories in Finland, Sweden, Poland, Germany, China, and USA. Factory in Estonia is located in Pärnu, as you heard. There are roughly 500 employees working in Pärnu. Approximately 10% of them are rental workers, and the headcount is constantly changing based on the customer demand. That's why the numbers today are already bigger than in the end of last year, as seen in our slide. Scanfil Estonia is a vertically integrated factory. We have developed our own testing platform to be offered for the customers who don't have time and capability to invest to their own testing technology. Punching, bending, reading, laser marking, assemblies, SMT, manual, mechanical SMTs, assemblies, system integration, and etc. As you saw in a previous slide, we are very much focused on the vertical integration and offering customers turnkey solutions with high complexity integration and electronics products. We have very wide customer and product portfolio, where most of them are industry leaders in their own industry segments. It basically means that we are working mostly in a low, medium, volume, high mixed environment. The second point in list is very much topic we are focusing now, as there is the increasing trend in the industry that requires these services. NPI services tailored for the different needs. Customers are having their R&Ds located close to the Estonia. We provide fast prototyping services. As I mentioned earlier, we have a very integrated production, and following slides are services what we provide, assembly and system integration, electronics and cables, testing. High level talk about automated WH, AIVs, RPAs. All the companies are looking into Industry 4.0 transformation. Modern technology is the great way to improve the productivity, speed and quality. However, it is crucial to understand the process and maturity before deploying the technology solutions. As a company, we will continue our journey modernizing our capabilities, matching with the latest industry trends. As an international company, the most wise way is to contact us through our career page, which you can see in slide. You can submit your CV and cover letter there. A career page is also a good opportunity to choose a suitable country. And so as it's the first time for us to cooperate with the university, and especially with international students, we can find a suitable internship on the basis of a CV and letter of motivation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Daniela, and please stay on the screen with us. You were very efficient with your presentation, so we can take some questions. So again, please don't hesitate to put them into chat, and I will also ask my colleague Robert to join me on screen. with some questions, but I will ask maybe the first one. Just to clarify, is this now the first time you're looking for interns among foreign students, or have you had this experience before as well?
Actually, this is the first time for us to look interns from universities. We have been made cooperation with vocational school, with Pärnu vocational school, but with the university, it's the first time.
And is there like a preference of what level the student should be? Is it undergrad last year, master's first year, or it doesn't really matter for you as long as they have the skills?
Actually, it doesn't matter. We are looking CV and motivation letter, and we will find a suitable place for them.
Okay, Robert, perhaps you have a question as well for Daniela.
Right, thank you. I'll just continue with the topic that you just raised. Actually, I had a question regarding internship working opportunities, but you just asked this question. So I'll just maybe go further and ask related to countries. You mentioned that students and people, young graduates, have opportunities to work in different countries when being part of your company. So can they choose personally in which country they work, or they are rather assigned the country?
Yeah, if you will go to our career page, you can immediately choose the country, and then you can fill your CV and motivation letter there. Mm-hmm. So we have this common career page.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, we just received one question from the listener as well in the chat. So they're asking, do you do any research, or like do you do research and development to your company as well? And is this located in Pärnu?
Research is right now, no. But we are growing heavily right now. So let's see what the future will bring us.
Mm-hmm. All right. And also, you briefly touched upon this, but could you maybe describe to our listeners the application process? Like after they reach out to you and write to you that they want to do an internship. So what happens next?
Mm-hmm. If they will fill this application through career page, our HR will get this information, and after that, they will communicate directly with them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me just see. Oh, yeah, there is actually another question as well. Since this is the first time that international students, is Estonian language a requirement? Or is there any preference related to Estonian language? How is this policy?
Mm-hmm. There is positions where Estonian languages must be. But for example, engineering positions, as we are international company, our not mother language, but we are using a lot of English. So most important is English language.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you. And there's also a question from another listener as well, saying, hi, thanks for the presentation. My question is, do you somehow integrate AR/VR tools in your company at any point? I am a master's student in the field of industrial engineering and management, but also studying game design, and I'm more interested in implementation of AR/VR to digitalize processes. So this AR/VR.
I believe that our technical manager is knowing much more about this, and maybe we can contact with this person directly, and you can send me an email, or then I can answer to your questions directly.
Great. I think we'll post all the contacts on our Facebook page, right? Right.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So one last question from me, but thank you, Robert, because Daniela, you are human resources manager, and you get applicants from Estonia, from elsewhere on different levels. What would you say is the biggest mistake that applicants make when applying to a job to your company?
Good question. Maybe the biggest mistake, you need to be proper in your data. If the CV is filled correctly, then everything else we can find through a job interview. So the personality is more important than the CV or the know-how. You can learn here.
Okay. Well, thank you for that tip as well. So let's keep our CVs in order whenever we apply and keep them truthful. And indeed, if there were some questions that we didn't manage to answer, we'll try to get back to you afterwards. And also, as Robert mentioned, we have a Facebook group, which we will share again at the end of the event, and we will put the contact as well. So hopefully you will still get your answers after the event. But now we are moving on. So thank you, Daniela.
Thank you.
And we have Ingvar. So if you can come on screen with your microphone and camera. Ingvar is the CEO of Oshino Electronics.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Yep, we can see you well. We can hear you well.
Okay, I will try to share it now, my presentation. Do you see the right page?
We don't currently see it yet. Maybe you need to make one more click on the blue share or something.
Is it now better?
Still nothing currently.
Just a minute.
Yep, now something is coming. Yep, we see it. Just you have to go to the start presentation mode. Yep, and it's perfect. We already see it correctly, so you can go ahead.
Okay, so I talked to you a little bit about Oshino Electronics. We had some issues, so I had very short time to prepare myself. So my presentation is consisting of two parts. First, I give you some idea about what is Oshino, where are we located in the world. And afterwards, we made a fresh, almost real-time video for you. So we go into our real production, which, and you can see everything online. Actually, no, video was done 2 hours ago. So Oshino Electronics is international company. We are a small company. We have offices and in different countries. As you see, Estonia is only production unit and also design unit. And together with Germany, we have capabilities of product development in full range. Our headquarters is in Japan. The history of Oshino in electronics is quite long. We started already in 1992. This is very long time ago, and as you see on the pictures, the equipment was at that time ridiculous, even I would say. In end of 1990s, we entered into automotive industry, and automotive industry is today our main business area. We design, produce, and the modules and parts for automotive. And we are mainly involved in interior lighting section of automotive industry. So the speed was already there, but people wanted to have more better mood lighted automotive interiors. So we're dealing with modern cars, modern luxury cars, RGB interior lightings. We have some exterior lighting products. So this is a very interesting area in which we are dealing with. We are customers, our customers are most of the European biggest automotive OEMs. To be there, of course, we need a very strong quality background, but yeah, we have all certificates necessary for good service of our automotive sector customers. In Pärnu today, we have 65 workers. We have 3,600 square meters of production area. So the factory plan is like this. Very soon you will see through the video, we'll walk through it. So why we are here today, as I told, we make the electronics design software development for parts which are used in automotive, and each product beside that needs full production environment, including tooling, test systems, and design of these things is very big part in our activities. We use a lot of, we don't do everything ourselves. We use our partners outside of the factory. But we really want to take more responsibilities and do more in our house, because pure subcontracting is not the best idea to continue for long term in Estonia. Relations with students, we have actually only one. We are sponsoring the student formula team. And this is very good sponsorship, because we can drive this car once a year. And I hope they also get a good benefit from us. So we're looking for engineers. And I think it's interesting fact that first robotic device, which I could figure out, was built already around 3,000 years before Christ. It was water clocks. And these things are still operational if you build them. So we need similar robustness in our solutions, and therefore we are looking for engineers in software and electronics. See here, they must we prefer that they can program in C language for various microcontrollers. Electronics designer is good that can use mentor pads, KiCad, which is freeware. And here is a slide how you can apply to us. The contact person is our personal human resources manager, Marilyn Rausar. And the slideshow is now over, and we can go to our production through video.
Ingvar, you're welcome to come back on screen with me, and Robert as well. Thank you for this very interesting video. We really could get the sense that we were inside the factory and seeing it as well, because of course we're doing these events virtually now, more due to the circumstances, not because of our preference. And a video is a great way to get the feeling we would have gotten if we would have been visiting you on site. And I think what sort of got into my head the most was this outsource less. So it seems like a good time to join you in Pärnu, to try to really develop the Pärnu office, the company, further with top-level engineering. So it seems like an excellent opportunity. Robert, perhaps we'll take some questions now.
Sure. Well, first, I join our listeners in saying thank you for the video. It was very interesting to actually see how the factory works and what's where and how it's done. So we have received one question during the presentation, actually asking one person actually listening to us asking, as a resident of Tallinn and with a background of mechanical engineering from West Africa, does he or she have to go through some certification courses or like obtain some certificates before he can or she can work in a mechanical engineering related field in Oshino?
I don't. What do you mean? What certification?
It's like I will say it in Estonian. Koolitused, mingid tunnistused. It's like this kind of certificates, like additional, apart from a university degree.
Yeah, no, certificate itself don't make an engineer as a ready-made engineer. We expect really, we expect quite ready-made people who can join our projects quite fast. But if he or she is studying in university, this program itself is meant to be during this. Kas see on, mõtlen korra eesti keeles, kas see on niimoodi, et kui ta ülikoolis ära käib ja siis pärast kooli ju tuleb meile, eks ju?
Yeah, I thought that this was a question about if the person has to go additional, like obtain additional certificates, mingit lisakoolitusi saama.
Sorry, so I'll also ask one in Estonian. Et kas talle piisab ülikooliharidusest või tal on vaja veel eraldi mingit Eesti sertifikaati, töötunnistust, oskustunnistust, et pigem on küsimus selles?
No, I don't think so. If the person is graduated and willing to work here and take part of our project, that's okay.
All right. I think that answers the question, yeah. And if not, then we will definitely leave some contacts and you will be able to write a personal email to all the speakers today. On my side, actually, I was interested in while we're talking and presenting the company. Do you actually have international interns at the moment, or have you taken like international interns from Estonia before to your company?
No, we don't have.
Okay. Are you expected to have any Estonian language skill?
No, in engineering, we don't. This is not mandatory.
Okay. Then, yeah, basically, last question for me is, are you looking for interns in any particular level of study, or it doesn't make any difference? Like, do they have to be like a bachelor's degree, master's degree?
No, if I'm not very much, I don't know very much details of all aspects of this project, but as much as I understood, if we find the student who is studying at any level in university, and then we can so-called make a preliminary deal with him. Is it and then
I can explain it later on when
okay.
it's my turn again.
Yeah, okay, and there will be scholarship. He can do all his study time jobs in our facilities. there is a scholarship from Pärnu City and us. So we tie him up. He or she finishes the school, and we are happy to take him or her to our company to work. This is, as much as I know, is the meaning of this project.
Yes, this is indeed will become clearer at the last section when Sulev will introduce the scholarship program, which really allows students to work in concrete companies in Pärnu. But I think in any case, it shows that while there haven't been foreign students working or studying, then there is interest in getting international young talent to develop these companies in Pärnu, as we saw with Oshino, but also before with Scanfil. So I think the main message is here that if you're studying in this field, or if you already have some practical experience in the field before, then really do look towards these companies in Pärnu as potential employers or internship opportunities.
I like to tell that we can all, the people or students can always make a contact and discuss with us the things. At the moment, we are looking for electronic engineers who are, this is not the only project where we try to support our engineering team. We have on CV Online and everywhere advertisements. We're looking for ready-made engineers. If the student feels he or she will be in future suitable and wants to work in Pärnu, come and talk with us. We decide what to do and set up a plan. But,
yeah, that is a great final message. And of course, as with our last presenter, we will later share the contacts of the human resources personnel to whom you can turn to with all your additional questions of what are the opportunities and what do you need to do to apply. So thank you, Ingvar. Thank you again for the very interesting video. And we'll go on to our third speaker. So Janne, could you please join me on screen from AQ Lasertool?
Hello.
Yeah, hi, we see you, we hear you, and let's share your screen as well.
Yes. Hello, my name is Janne Eljas, and I'm HR manager from AQ Lasertool. AQ Lasertool is one company from the Swedish company group AQ, and here you see the world map. It means that AQ is located all over the world. We say that our factories are not in Africa and Australia yet, but all other countries and all the other mappers are presented from our side. A short introduction, who we are, what we are doing, where we are, and AQ Lasertool is Lasertool was founded 2003, and it was a Swedish company. And 2006, we are part of the, as I said, large group, AQ Group. And after that, we have always expanded in Estonia. We can say 2014, we had the Viimsi site, 2014 also in Jüri site, and last was in Pärnu. Now we have 2 factories. Before it was the company Mechanova, and now we have Mechanova, another site in Finland, but Lasertool in Estonia, we have 4 how to say productions. In this introduction, what we said today, it was said like it's electronic sector. We are not electronic. Lasertool is not electronics. We are our business segment is sheet metal processing, and it means that we do everything with the sheet metal. We have laser cutting, punching, bending, also robot bending. Also, we do the welding, different types of welding technique, MAG. So we do assembly works, and we have the powder line over here. And of course, we also had all the standards requirements from our customers. And this is the Lasertool plant, is the largest factory in Estonia. So we had 10,000 square meters and approximately 160 employees. If we include here the rental employees, then we have more than 200 employees in this site. Kodara plant, it's a little bit different. Over there we do work for, in Kodara site, we do work on the railway industry and for the energy industry. And the main processes are the welding, TIG welding, also assembly. We have the powder painting line over there also. And as we do work only for railway industry, then we have the railway standards. We follow the railway standards also. With rental employees, we have 120 employees over there. Viimsi plant it's planned for, how to say, it's like internal plan for us. It's doing the painting for our products, what we are doing in Lagerö plant and in Jüri plant. But the processes what we have over there is e-coat and powder painting. And also we are doing the packing and logistics center over there also. But this is the small company. We have with rental employees around 70 over there. And the last one, the fourth plant is Jüri plant, and this is the hard tooling plant. We have a lot of progressive tool stamping machines, manual feeding stamping, presses, welding and spot welding. And for there also only we produce product for automotive customers. We have around 50 our own employees, but with rental employees around 70, 80 employees. And here are our biggest customers. And customers are Scania, the biggest customer. Actually, it's almost Scania and Volvo, it's automotive customers. There is the slide said information how to apply, but the first of all, I wanted to say that we haven't had chance to work with international students yet. This would be our first time or first opportunity for us. And what we are looking for, we are looking for mechanical engineers, because this is the like the heart of everything when it's everything starts in our factory. And what the engineers must know or do, or what's the biggest issue what they are doing, this is we have a lot of queries from the customers. And if the engineers are receiving the query, they have to make the control route, they have to do the pricing, then they say send it out. If we receive it back, then we have to implement this, and we win this product. We have to implement in our products this, and everything what is going on with this product, the engineer is most important person over there. He or she is a link between the customer, between our product, the production employees, and everything is going or working with according how engineers is implemented this product. And if we are working with what we inquiries, what we would say, what we would like that engineers should have, then it's the most important to know all the sheet metal processing. This is hard to find that kind of students or employees, but if we are not find out that ready engineers, but we always, how to say, ready to help them. If you would like to apply for us, then please send a CV. Little bit introduce educational background. What is the specialty on which course, and starting time and duration of practical studies. Also, it would be really good if someone is looking for practicum studies, then it's for us to know what is the aim and the requirements for the practicum. So we know how to prepare ourselves also. And if you have the motivation letter and introduce a little bit more, it's always good to know about you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Janne. And I welcome also Robert back on the screen. First of all, I would just like to say that indeed, that if you are applying to any company in Estonia and you're doing this for your school internship in order to get credits, or it's mandatory for your program, then of course, the more information you provide already about the requirements from the school side to the employer is always a good thing to do. This way, the employer can also match better and let you know if they fit the profile of what your mandatory internship requires. But Janne, you mentioned also that you are also able to help sort of the applicants in a way. Do you mean that you offer some in-house training for additional skills, or what did you mean by this?
Yes, we say if employee or whoever comes to our company, we do the inside training, everything, because it's not like the hard, easy to find employee who knows how to work in metal industry and everything. We give additional skills.
Okay, so Robert, let's take some questions from you as well.
Great. Well, thank you very much for the presentation. It was very interesting to get to know this company even better for our listeners, I think, and for us too. I would say you as an HR manager, actually, have one question in particular to you. From your experience in your position and seeing many different, I presume, cover letters and the motivation letters and CVs and everything. So what would be what would be the most important suggestion to our listeners in terms of when they send or want to send their documents to you? What should they take into consideration when preparing those documents? Like one suggestion, or like what's the biggest mistake that people usually do?
I think what helps is if in a motivation letter this person describes why he or she choose this education, why he is interested in this, and so we can see that this person, how to say, has the impact of this, and there's the power to do this. It's not just one training or education to do. I don't know. Does it help?
Yeah, it answers the questions. Absolutely, yeah. All right. And the second question was related to internship duration. So how long are the internships usually? For how long do they last?
So, sorry, I didn't understand the question.
For how long are the internships? Like 2 months, 6 months, 5?
It depends. As you said, we didn't have this chance before because we are working with cooperation with these schools in cooperation school in our area. But in this like international students in university, we haven't done this before. So it depends. For us, it's the better than longer, then we can receive also something.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. And I think the last thing that I wanted to ask is something asked previous speakers as well. What's the Estonian language policy in your company? What's the expectation in terms of Estonian language?
Yeah, we can say that without knowing Estonian, it's a little bit impossible to work for us. I said describe for engineering side because if the engineering is responsible for the implementation this production, then it's employees over there we can ask them to fully understand English. We have to understand, we have to explain everything in Estonian. We can do the documents, everything, the language, the work language is English for engineers, but communication with our employees, it's necessary to have some Estonian.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Robert. And maybe I'll take the last question to Janne. We had the answer already earlier from Sulev, but I would like to also hear from a company representative. What would be the slogan why somebody should look at Pärnu as a destination for working?
What I especially like here, that's the distances between the places, different places to work and home and everything is still short. You can walk, you can run, you can take your bike. You don't have to have the cars and sit in the traffic jams and everything. I think this is the one good thing in Pärnu.
Great, and thank you for that. And again, thank you for your presentation. We are now moving on to our last presentation, which is about the scholarship program that has been mentioned a few times already. So I will invite also Sulev to join me on screen.
Okay, thank you. Just to add a small comment to the last question for Janne, is that also in Pärnu recently the expats group has been set up. It's not only Facebook group. I have attended one gathering which I was very surprised. I met people from all continents who have recently relocated to Pärnu. So Pärnu is also becoming more and more international destination and location where to stay and enjoy different services, being all represented, but with the reasonable cost level compared to Tallinn. Coming to the scholarship, also mentioned during several company presentations. So the whole idea is that we don't need to wait until students have graduated, but instead the idea is to build up the cooperation between student and company during already study times, so that student can relate his or her studies, research areas with the very practical challenges of the company, with the very practical needs, so that the triangle, university, student, and the company, everybody in this triangle will actually win. So students will get actual challenges and can practice their theory. Company, as we heard from representatives, company can get fresh look and also hopefully through student, if needed, some university testing or lab capacity or advice from professors, then the student will act in the position of bridging, linking together university and the company. Please show next slide. So basically, I have covered what it says here about duration, which was also asked. The minimum time for entering this scholarship program would be for bachelor second year, because the first year is still, we have seen many dropouts and then the study have been quite basic. So second year of bachelor, and then maybe for master degree students, even the first year will be preferred, as then maybe the final thesis hasn't been chosen yet. If it would be the second year for master, then it's quite at the end already. but to stay with the company a year and a half would enable to really start a nice collaboration, go in deep matters, and therefore it gives both the company and the student the possibility to better understand each other expectations and skills. Next slide, please. What we have negotiated is that as it was already mentioned, this scholarship goes in line with the support of City of Pärnu. Pärnu is interested to have younger generation university graduates enriching the labor market in Pärnu, and therefore the sums needed to be negotiated to reach out some particular number. What student can take into account when planning to use that program. Of course, when everything goes very well between the company and the student, and it really seems that for making the living, this amount is still a bit too small, then it is the matter of negotiations between the company and the scholarship student, whether the company is ready to talk about increasing their sum. What is fixed is as you know, in public sector, municipalities cannot very quickly change what they have decided on their council level. In order to launch this program for more companies and students, of course, only students' will doesn't help. The companies, interested companies, must be there ready to work with students and as well as international students like yourself. So first, companies need to collaborate with the university, send the short description of the work or research task, and then based on public competitions, which universities arrange in the beginning of each semester, then those scholarships can be applied for. But in order to still open the opportunity to work on the other way around, here in the bottom, I added the email address where you can show up your interest for this kind of scholarship program. And then when we have received your interest, then I can help you find the company, or I can talk to the company which is most in line with your research or work interest. And maybe this way we can get a new company entering the program and offering the opportunity. But according to Estonian tax system, it should go through this public competition, which are arranged by universities. Thank you for your attention towards the scholarship program and towards Pärnu. And hope that many of you, as in the beginning poll, still remain with their wish to work under one of these internship programs.
Thank you, Sulev, for this presentation. And indeed, I would again emphasize that while we today introduced you three very interesting engineering and electronics companies, then as Sulev mentioned, the program is open to other companies as well, and a broader spectrum if you find another potential employer. Unfortunately, we do not have time to take questions on this today, but as Sulev said, please write emails to info@pärnumaa.ee if you have questions about the scholarship program. And we will also circulate a one-pager about the program to all those who register to today's event, and also in our social media. So you will still get the information, and if there are any outstanding questions, we will try to answer those as well. And I would just emphasize once more that this is really a great opportunity in the sense that there are not many, if at all, these regional level scholarship programs for students. So Pärnu is really, in a way, leading let's say, call it the market here, because often these programs in Estonia are either on a national level or then based in Tallinn. So it's a great thing that Pärnu City has put up this scholarship, and I hope for some of you it is an interesting avenue to align your research interest in university while doing also practical work in an actual real company. So I will now just move to my last slide to wrap up today's session. So once again, here are the main links that we have already circulated. As I mentioned earlier, today was the second event in our event series. There are more to come. We don't yet have the topic nor the time fixed, but you can expect something in May, June, and we will share this information definitely through our social media. And we will do more events in autumn and next spring as well. And if this event today got you interested in our event series, then you can already find our session from December called Volunteer in Estonia on YouTube. So then we discussed the benefits of volunteering and how this can help you in your career and forming a community in Estonia. And also my colleague will share a feedback link in the chat. So please to take a few minutes of your time. It's only 5 questions to let us know what you thought about today's online event. It really helps us to plan next events for students like you. And in a few days, we will send the link to the recording of today's event to all of those who registered as well, together with the information on the scholarship program as already promised. And here are the websites of our speakers. So thank you again, Sulev, Daniela, Ingvar, and Janne for being with us today, giving excellent presentations and seeing how the participants stayed with us until the end. I think everything you were saying really hit the mark in their interest as well. So thank you all, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mark. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.